Hello.
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 Let's go!
Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
War crimes will be prosecuted.
Let's have a Liberty City, burn it to the ground.
Does the word mean anything to you?
Yeah, I chose this profession, so therefore I earn beer.
You want to go to the matinee?
The feeling is definitely there.
You don't know my name!
It's a new morning in America.
This is the old dude, Howard J. Reynolds. Step into my office.
Not going to be too many punks.
Don't you stop worrying about the punk?
You! That's my name!
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show.
Introducing, for your listening pleasure,
Hi, and welcome to the High Fives Punk Rock Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is my co-host, Justin. Justin, how's it going?
It's going okay, Mike. How are you?
I'm all right. That sounded really formal. I think that's the most formal I've introduced a podcast ever.
Well, hello, sir.
What's new in the world of politics? What's shaking?
Let's not start talking about that.
Justin, you're coming off another cold. What is this? What is this, like 5 for the year?
Every few episodes, we seem to be having to either work around my sicknesses or I'm just getting over them when we hit record.
You know me well, but other people might not know how much of a germaphobe and how paranoid I am about getting sick. But I coach kids soccer, and every time I go to soccer, there's always a sick kid, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get it this time. This is my time. But so far this year, I've been pretty lucky. It's just all on you, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've got to stop licking doorknobs, but I just can't help myself.
That's how you get immunity. Didn't you learn anything during COVID?
Yeah. They're not vaccinating us anymore, so you got to build immunity somehow.
Eat dirt. That's why kids weren't sick before.
Yeah.
They just died. Justin, have you seen the new Bruce Springsteen movie? I know he's important to you, so I'm just curious if you saw it yet.
I have not, because I usually don't pay attention to movie reviews, especially if it's something I do want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow this one sort of fell off that wagon, and I kept hearing about how bad it was. So I'm like, maybe I don't want to watch it. But I also haven't watched the Bob Dylan one nor the Elton John one.
I haven't seen either of those either.
Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody was okay.
So they're entertaining, right? But then I always start reading about it, and I'm like, well, that didn't happen, and that didn't happen, or this happened this way. And then it kind of annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really into the Wu-Tang series they had on Hulu or Disney or whatever it was. And then I started reading, I'm like, well, this wasn't even really accurate. I'm like, it's just a TV show then, I guess, loosely based around what happened. Same with all these movies. I know the Queen one's not accurate. I'm sure the Elton John one's not accurate either, or the Motley Crue one.
Yeah,
isn't.
which then I guess, what's the point? Is it just a...
That's where I was going with this. I'm like, it kind of seems like, is it just for entertainment value? Then you could just make up, do an Almost Famous sort of thing where you could just have a made-up band.
Yeah, for sure. Or what was the one that was based on Judas Priest?
Oh, the Marky Wahlberg.
Was it called Rockstar?
Maybe. I don't think I ever saw it. But yeah, you could just do that sort of thing and steal stories and work with it. But
yeah.
Oh well. I'm not working in Hollywood, so. Justin, did you know this is the last episode of the year? That's kind of crazy, hey?
It's actually crazy that it's already almost the end of the year.
I know you're not a big Christmas guy, but do you have plans for the holidays? Are you sticking in town? Is that a secret? Is that something you don't want anybody to know where you're going? I know you got lots of people following you.
Yeah, so many things. No, I was thinking about how much I dislike Christmas and how much it's already coming up. So I was I'm trying not to even think about it. Just the part of me that wants to block it out of my mind. And
so you're not going to do the Christmas episode with me where we just do Christmas carols, but not even fun punk rock ones, just traditional Christmas carols. And we'll carol. But you and me, we're going to go to house and carol.
Yeah, I will for sure be sick that day.
I do miss, I can't remember who I was talking about this. You and me sort of had a little tradition that we would go out and get a drink before I got forced to go to midnight mass.
Yeah, it was on the 24th, right?
Yeah, before midnight mass. That was my thing. Get a little tipsy before church, like a classy Eastern European.
Yeah. Fits the bill.
Yeah, it was good. That's the only thing that's a tradition I miss, but it's kind of hard to do these days. Also, I don't go to midnight
Nate
mass
and I
anymore.
used to go see movies. Well, I'd say movies, but maybe it only happened once. where him and I went and saw Beavis and Butthead on Christmas Day.
It's not a tradition. That's once, unless you went and saw Beavis and Butthead every Christmas, which would be kind of amazing.
It would be that. Maybe I'll call him up. I'll see what he's doing.
He's got time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting cold outside. Actually, it's not that cold. I shouldn't complain. But
so far it's been pretty good.
I was just camped out on the ostrich farm. It's cold out there, you know. Got to save the ostriches.
That's right.
Won't anybody think about the ostriches? What a bunch of fucking losers. Sorry.
I haven't even followed it. I know that there's some ostrich farm controversy, but I have no idea
They're dead.
what it's all about.
It doesn't matter. They're dead. The people running the farm were losers.
Should they be, or is this like a harem bee sort of thing?
No, they should be dead. They had bird flu.
Oh.
Do you want to get bird flu, Justin? Because you're looking like you could get it at any moment.
Yeah, I do. I need them. I can't take the risk.
What else? Did you? I'm going to guess you didn't watch this. Did you watch any of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing?
No, but I've heard it mentioned from a few people, which is a weird thing because I feel like.
So I've never really cared about it. I don't really give a shit about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but the White Stripes were getting inducted, and same with Soundgarden. So I was kind of curious to see, and it was on like Disney Plus or something. So I flicked it on one day. The White Stripes thing was rad. Iggy Pop introduced him, and Jack White's speech was really cool because he I like the White Stripes. I'm not in love with them, but I really do like the White Stripes. Yeah, but he seems like a really cool dude and like legitimately like.
Seems like a good human. Like
he seems like a pretty good human and legitimately just likes being an artist and the music. And he like in his thank you speech, he named off all these old bands, like bands you and me might know about, but like I would say the average person watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not going to know who the Dirt Bombs are or something like that. Yeah, and like shout outs to like grimy clubs in Detroit and places like that. And I thought that was like a cool thing to do. Maybe other people do it too. And then I was pretty into the Soundgarden thing just because Soundgarden means a lot to me. I can see like why they don't mean a lot to other people, but it was really cool. They had the original bass player there who left the band before they got really big. He took his speech is really good. If you're bored at home and it's on and you're willing to fast forward, it's like I think it's like 4 hours, but you can just fast forward to the parts you want to see. Yeah,
that's maybe why I heard about it more. I feel like it hasn't been on like a streaming service or really.
Like I don't know who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or not. I know it's in Cleveland, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would like to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I would go to that. I'm not like considering I'm like a big history guy. I'm not a big museum guy, but that place we went in Seattle, what's that place called?
The New Music Experience.
Yeah, like that was really cool. I was really
good. Yeah,
impressed with that one, and like I feel like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame would probably be interesting to see.
Weirdly, I did not go to the Punk Rock Museum when I was in Vegas last. And I'll probably wouldn't go again to Vegas just because I thought Vegas sucked.
Vegas does suck.
It's sort of like in retrospect, I'm like, wait, why didn't I go to that museum? That would have been so much fun.
I would go to that if I was going to the States again, or when and if we can go to the States again. I would maybe go do that. But yeah, I'm not really interested in Vegas. I'm too old now to care about partying in Vegas, and I don't think that's ever going to be my scene.
No,
too many ostrich farms. Have you been watching any TV or anything? Since while you were sick, did you get to watch anything fun on TV or?
Yeah, a couple things on the go. I'm into season 4 of The Bear.
Nice. That guy cousin was in town the other day at the Flames game. The guy that says his name's Cousin in the show.
Oh yeah.
The guy that played the Thing in Fantastic Four, but I don't know his name.
Okay. Yeah. Not the main guy, but his cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Bruce Springsteen, but his cousin.
Oh, that's right.
Full circle.
Dude. Yeah.
Anyway, season 4.
Yeah, so been watching that, and I've been watching 24, which I never watched when it really came out.
That's a commitment to watch something. Does it hold up?
Parts of it for sure. Like I think the premise is quite interesting, and just the concept of like everything being actually like in actual runtime is pretty good. But like some of the like characters and their flaws and decision making and writing's like, this is so stupid.
Well, Justin, I'm going to make you feel better because I've been watching Beverly Hills 90210.
Wait, the original or like the reboot?
No, the original. It's on here in a streaming service. So I've been watching that, and my one big note is, actually I got 2 notes. One, I remember watching it when we were like teenagers or preteens probably.
Not even.
Yeah, preteens. And thinking, oh my God, those people look so perfect. Like they're not real teenagers compared to, let's say, like Degrassi.
Yeah.
And watching it now, I'm like, they're not even like that perfect compared to what they would cast now if they made that show. They don't all have white teeth. They don't all like look. I mean, they're still like objectively like perfect, like quote unquote perfect, but not compared to what it would be like now. Like there's like some individuality to how they each of them look and imperfections. So that was interesting. 2, whoever scored that show is hilarious. Almost every single scene, when anything's dramatic, it's got like a G. Smith guitar solo, and then like slow motion panning. Like Dylan's drinking again.
Yeah.
Zoom in on the shot. Also, he drinks like shots out of like the bottles you get from like airplanes, and they're like, he's crashing out, and then this like giant guitar solo twanging and like ripping on the wah-wah bar. What's that bar? Wah-wah bar? Whammy bar. Wah-wah was a pedal. Someone's gossiping, same thing. Slow pan to the face, guitar solo orgasm. It's like, it's insane. Like I want to sit there. I wish I had enough time or energy to like just videotape those scenes and put them all together in this giant montage of bad guitar solos and see if it can make a song. Somebody do that for me.
Get AI to do it for you.
It's a pretty bad show. There's no need to watch it unless you're lame like me. I've also been watching Three's Company at night. So that's the kind of person I am.
I can get behind that one a little bit more.
Three's Company's rad. Also, I'm older than the landlord, like the Ropers, and I'm older than the parents. Like I'm older than the actors in those shows, which just blew my mind. I'm like, I feel like I know I'm old, but I don't feel like I'm that old.
I saw a thing on Instagram, and it was like, some very normal looking mom type, and she was like, wait, what? And then she played a clip from the Golden Girls, and it was like Blanche or one of them being like, I'm a 41-year-old woman, and I was just like, whoa. The Golden Girls were in their 40s?
They're in their 40s?
Yeah.
No, that's gotta be like fake. Maybe. That would explain why they're having so much sex.
Is that what that show was about?
Well, one of them was anyway.
I honestly can't tell you if I ever watched it. I have no idea.
You didn't like to think about the Golden Girls having sex, Justin? Come on, man.
No.
It's
a different
totally
podcast.
You can stay tuned for that episode later. That'll be my bonus episode this year. I'll break down all the sex in the Golden Girls.
Just dub it in German and I'll be on board.
Sweet. Guten Tag. Justin, have you been listening? I'm thinking, since we've talked about weird 80s TV shows that I like, what have you been listening to? That's probably what this podcast is more about than me talking about Blanche's sex life.
Yeah, a couple things. I think the year is finishing pretty strong for releases, and a lot of things that like we've been waiting for have been slowly coming out. Although weirdly, I found it hard to pull together an exact list for this episode. So, a couple things.
Justin, if I went back to every episode, I would do this, and then I would have the guitar solo and be like, Justin's not coming up with anything. Look how tense and nervous he is.
No, I got things.
Okay.
The first one is, I'm going to say this is the best band out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. The band is Gumm, and they just put out their second album called Beneath the Wheel. Have you heard of Gumm?
I have not, or I've not ever heard of Chattanooga, Tennessee, so I'm going to...
No, I don't know. It's got to be like the top 10 largest cities in Tennessee.
Making a lot of outrageous claims.
Gumm, Gumm, is, they're like a hardcore band from the least hardcore of places. I assume Chattanooga is a lot of... like shitty country music, but this is far from it.
Did you say it's the kind of place that Blanche would go to get laid?
I'm not sure. I don't understand the reference. I don't watch shows about hip young teenagers like the Golden Girls.
Anyway, go on.
Second album from them. Really good hardcore sound, like nice polish to it. Good mix of clean vocals with some heavier, rougher stuff, and just like a really good listen. It reminded me of One Step Closer. I don't know if you ever got into One Step Closer.
No, not really, actually. You're blowing my mind tonight.
Wow. A little bit comeback kiddish without as many gang vocals, and maybe a little bit stronger vocal presence. But really like it. Like, it's a good hardcore album, which I can always appreciate.
Nice.
The other thing I've been listening to is the new Ben Quad album. It's their second full-length that just came out a couple of weeks ago, entitled Wisher. I really liked their first album. I had the chance to see them a couple of years back and missed out. They were opening for Spanish Love Songs and Hot Mulligan, which is too bad because I just started listening to them shortly after that and have really enjoyed them. Would love to check them out again. This album took me a couple listens to listen to, sort of really kind of appreciate, but I really like it. It's exactly what you would expect if you listen to their first album. Very Hot Mulligan-ish. I think that's sort of that little bit of kind of stargazy Midwest emo, and then some heavier stuff too. So
They also like the solo or like the twinkly guitar stuff.
yeah, there's a lot of that.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this one again. I gave it a quick listen. It didn't grab me, but I've been reading a lot of good things, and I trust you on this one, so I'm gonna go back and listen to this one.
Yeah, I think it probably takes a couple listens just for a couple songs to start to stand out, and then you start kind of picking apart the things that make each song stand out or sound a little bit different. And then the last new one I've checked out very recently is from Toronto's The Mendozaz.
Nice.
The Completely Fictional History of the Great Nation of Canada is the album. I think this one just came out at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, I would say, I think there's a couple singles, I think, or at least one single came out, and then it just sort of came out, I think.
Yeah, and based on the last episode, which is the Halloween episode, and the Brown Song, An American Werewolf in Calgary, the first track I listened to on this one was An American Werewolf in London, Ontario. So shout out to the real London.
To the real London. You spent some time in London, Ontario.
I did.
When your tour bus or when your tour van broke down.
When the van broke down and we couldn't get home.
That's how every tour should go. Do you remember the Mendozaz when we talked about their last album, the Loafer one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're a good band. This one's like the other one's like pretty good, and this one's like the recording on it's really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one's like surprisingly polished in a really great way.
Yeah, it's really good. It's just like the right amount of like polish and fun. I can, it's really good. Is that 3 or 4? That's 3, right?
That's 3, and a throwback that's not that much of a throwback, but I think it's come on shuffle a whole bunch of times, and I can't stop listening to it every time it comes back to it, which is Jimmy Eat World's Bleed American, and particularly the song Praise Chorus, which is just so good.
One of my all-time favorite albums.
Yeah. And that song, I don't know what it is about it, but every time it comes on, I'm just like, this song is unbelievably great.
There's an argument that I saw being made that that's one of the best alternative songs of that like decade.
I could see it, yeah. Like, I think it's flawless.
I would agree. That album is flawless. It never feels like, to me, that album never. I know you don't like Jimmy Eat World as much as I do, but that album never feels old, and it's like
25 years old now, almost.
Gotta be close.
Yeah. Do they have a new album coming out?
Sort of. They got an EP coming out, and it's one of the songs is like, or I think a couple of the songs are just leftovers from the last album.
Oh, okay.
And then like reworking of 2 songs or a live version of a song or maybe a cover or something. But it's like, I think it's 5 songs or 4 songs. But I think it actually might come out the first week of December.
Okay.
So pretty quick here.
Yeah. Anyways, great album.
Good choices, Justin. Good choices. You probably don't want to know what I'm listening to, but you're going to hear what I'm listening to.
I would love to know what you're listening to.
Thanks, Justin. That makes me feel really good.
It's important to me.
I've caught you on a good day. You must be tired or hopped up on cold meds because you're being really nice to me.
It's the goofballs.
Hopped up on goofballs. First thing I've been listening to is a local band called Ghost Factory and their album, or his album, Socialist Trash. They're a local folk punk act. You may know Rob from a zillion bands in town, like Julius Sumner Milner, or he's doing duty in Chicks Dig It these days. Maybe you know him from the local punk rock sing-along at the Ship during the summer with his buddy Eric. Or maybe you've just heard Ghost Factory. Ghost Factory's been around for quite a while, but it's like long breaks in between albums. This one's coming out on Meter Records. It's called Socialist Trash, and it actually comes out this week. But Nate got a free copy of it, and he let me listen to it, so I got a preview of it, and it's really good. Really stoked about it. Folk punk songs with social consciousness lyrics, and something I think if you like that genre, you should check out.
Awesome.
Next band I'm listening to is a band called School Drugs, and their album Funeral Arrangements. Do you know School Drugs?
I don't. It's a good name, though.
It is a great name. Last episode, we kind of touched on Nightbirds and how much I like them. And funny enough, when I read the review of School Drug's new album, it compared them to Nightbirds. And I thought the name was super cool, so I had to check them out. What I did learn when I was doing this stuff for the podcast is that the album is actually based on four EPs put together that they started recording during COVID, and they slow released it on purpose as like 7 inches and then put it together as an album. And there it's like a story that goes through the whole album. It's fast 80s hardcore, influenced punk rock, but it doesn't have that one-dimensional feel of 80s hardcore, if that makes sense. Like, you know, sometimes like some of that 80s hardcore just feels like you're listening to the same song 10 times
totally flat.
In 30 minutes. This doesn't feel like that at all. It's got a lot to it. Lots of interesting parts in each song that break that mold. I really recommend checking it out. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite albums. Another album is a band I've brought up before called Coup D'état from Victoria. This is their self-titled EP. They're a 90s influenced emo, hardcore, screamo band from, like I said, Victoria. Remind me a lot of the bands that we kind of grew up with in our local scene that took from all those genres and made it their own. Very energetic. They got tinges of Jewel in them, which I really like. Super awesome EP. 100% recommend checking it out. Last one is another band that I really like, and I think we've talked about a few times, and the band is Elway, and their new album, Nobody's Going to Heaven.
I was going to ask you if you would give this one a go.
Yeah, I love it. Have you listened to it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, actually, I was going to mention it in my listening to. I really like it. It's made me go back into some of their old stuff too, and just be like, you know what? I think I really do like this band, like a lot.
Yeah, they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I think, is their best one. I mean, maybe it could be just like biased because it's new, but it's so good. I love the lyrics in it. I love that they've kind of taken a shot at this hellscape of reality that we've got going on these days. It's a great melodic punk rock album. Great lyrics. Red Scare put it out. Red Scare rarely disappoints with albums. So if you're looking for that kind of punk rock album, I think this is one of the better ones of the year.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a really good one. It's great. Lots of good stuff to check out. Do you want to talk about this episode and what we're theming our picks around?
Look at you just taking over the episode.
That's right.
You can see him stuttering. You got this.
Well, it's actually, you know what's funny is now I've got the little icon.
I noticed that. Look at you.
Yeah.
You've taken over after our technical difficulties. You're now in charge.
I'm the captain now.
Totally. I'm just a passenger. Yeah, so this topic was sent in to us on Instagram by a listener named Daniel, who suggested we do a topic about a band that we fell in love with after seeing them live. And I thought, oh, snap, what a great idea, and this is going to be fucking easy. But then when I went to sit down, my mind went blank. I don't know if yours did that, but mine did that.
My first thought was, how the fuck are you going to do this episode? Because you haven't seen a live band since 2008. So
my list probably is going to... Justin, that was mean.
It was, but it's accurate.
It's inaccurate. I just don't
you may have
out.
actually gone to more shows this year than I did.
Probably not. I'm lazy and old and scared of people. And I watch Beverly Hills 90210 at night. You think I got time to go to shows? It's got 10 seasons. 10. Anyway, it's a great idea. In my head, I was like, oh yeah, there's like so many bands. And then I sat down again, like I said, and I couldn't think of anything. And then I started being like, well, there's lots of bands I've seen that I hate after I've seen them live. That was an easy list to come up with. But that's not what we're doing here. So the episode is bands you saw live and made you fall in love with them. So I'm thinking bands you either had very little knowledge of, had never seen before, or like didn't like until you saw them live.
Yeah, that was definitely the spirit I went with on this one. It's a great topic, and like you, I thought it was going to be really easy, and I sort of got 2 or 3 right away, and then I'm like, whoa, I'm kind of running out of steam, and then it was so easy to go down the path of like good shows you've seen, but then I'm like, no, I went to see that band, so obviously I liked them before. So
yeah, I did that a lot too. I'm like, oh yeah, like that was a really good show. Well, I went because I liked the band, so like that didn't really work.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to think, we do this thing with our group of friends where we go on a trip together and we don't really know where we're going. and often it revolves around music, a music festival or something like that. And I was like, oh, there's got to be tons of bands that I saw at those. And then I was like, I can't really remember what I saw. So that didn't really work either. Maybe I touched on one of them. I can't even remember when I look at my list here. I did this list a week ago, so I can't remember what I actually did. But that's it. I don't know. You have anything else to say about the topic before we get into it?
No, it's a good topic. Love the suggestions that come into. They're usually better than my dumb ideas. So,
have you had an idea?
I've had lots of ideas
that weren't dumb.
Well, I didn't say that. I said I've had lots of ideas.
I'm just confirming what we're saying here. It's like you're under oath. I just want you to repeat it so that everyone knows. No,
I know what I said.
All right. Justin, what's your first pick?
So my first pick is a pick I have already drawn from, and I realized this after I made my list and I wasn't about to change it, because I think it's a great way to discover a band, which was, just to take a plunge. So this band I talked about, I think it must have been in our 2010 episode. The story, for those of you that don't want to go back a year and listen to it, is I was living in Sweden. One of my classmates turned out to be like a fan of punk rock and hardcore, and we shared a lot of music commonalities, and he suggested we go see a band that was playing in our little town in Sweden that were from Norway. So I went with him knowing nothing about this band, and they took the stage and absolutely blew me away. It was like an absolute wall of like fury and noise, but not in a like disruptive way, in a very like well put together, super heavy, thick and like driving sound. And the band was Kvelertak. They sing all in Norwegian. They're sort of not black metal, not death metal, not punk, but somewhere in between all of it, and are all around awesome with a weird 80s influence that I can't help but hear in their music.
That 80s influence really got in their last few albums. Hey?
Yeah, and more in their last few albums. They're almost like synth driven.
Yeah.
In some ways. But yeah, this was the debut album that came out in 2010. This band was so awesome live. There was a bunch of other people from our class who didn't listen to like hardcore or punk or metal or anything like that. And they were all just like as far away from the stage as possible, like, cowering in the corner, being like, what have you taken us to? Because we dragged 6 or 8 other people to the show. But my buddy and I loved every minute of it. They were awesome. Yeah. Kvelertak, all in Norwegian from Norway.
So I also realized when I was doing this, because I was trying to think of where we went. We went to Austin, and we did see them in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot I saw them with you in Austin, and you dragged me, and that was the first time I had heard them before, and I hadn't seen them before.
Yeah.
So I have seen them.
Yeah, I was super stoked when we found out they were playing in Austin.
So I totally forgot that I saw them until I did this, which is, again, saying about what my brain has turned into in these last few years. Just a pile of mush. Great pick, Justin. What song did you go with and what album?
I think on the first, when I picked them for the last episode that I picked them for in 2010 years, I think then I picked Blood Torst. So this time I went with Mjod.
All right.
MJOD for those that are phonetically Norwegian.
Thank you very much, because I did not know how to spell that, and now I do. Awesome pick. Great band. Is this singer doing a solo thing? Did I read that right? Does the singer have a solo? Do you know that?
I don't. I can neither
confirm
nor deny.
I feel like I read that somewhere not long ago, and I thought that was going to be interesting. Not as interesting as my next pick, though. I'm that arrogant. No. So this one has, I think, maybe 2 memories built into time. When I was doing this, I was like, there was a bunch of times where I couldn't tell if they were like an actual memory or just something that's like sort of a hodgepodge of shows. But this is a band I saw a bunch of times, but I know the first time I saw them, I fell in love with them. So it's I either saw them the first time at the Republic or I saw them at the Blue House. Either way, I saw them play both those places, and they're awesome. The band is Brand New Unit. They're from Vancouver.
Oh, it's awesome. I was going to pick Brand New Unit for this episode too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you at that? Was it the Republic that we saw them at?
My only memories of them are seeing them at the Black Lounge.
Maybe it was the Black Lounge and not the Blue House. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't remember some of this stuff, but I guess that doesn't really matter except for like maybe 10 people that are our age and that would know this thing. Anyway, it would have been around 1995. I remember they played with another band called Target, who are from Interior BC, and I ended up buying a Target shirt and wearing that shirt out until I was like in my 30s, and it got tossed away. I never could remember what Target sounded like though, but I do remember B&U. And the thing I liked about them was how good they were live. They were so tight, and they were like, they had so much energy. This isn't saying anything about the bands at the time, but because I was new to punk rock, they had like a little bit of a metal influence or like an alternative influence to them, and they were a little like, they seemed a lot more put together and tighter than the punk bands I was seeing at the time because I was so new to it. So like, they weren't sloppy. They were like, there was a lot more rhythm and melody to them, which I now would come to know as like they were melodic hardcore.
Yeah.
Which makes more sense now, like knowing about that sound. Anyway, great band live. I still listen to them all the time. I think they got signed to BYO Records at one point and made it sort of started making it bigger. They even had some videos on Much Music. The drummer ended up joining Gob at a point, and I think he still plays in Gob, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. They toured with Gob all the time.
Yeah.
That was like, they just split a van from Vancouver to Calgary.
Anyway, they ruled. They
Yeah.
were a great band live. I went with a song called Have a Nice Life If Yours Sucks off their No Heroes EP.
That's awesome, Mike. What a great pick, and definitely have some really good memories of seeing Brand New Unit live. And I would echo what you said. They felt like, I mean, we were in grade 10 or grade 11, like early high school days. Bands like Downway or Chicks Dig It or Gob were certainly bigger than any of our bands were, and we're playing like the Black Lounge or the Republic on a regular basis, but they still felt like we could have been those bands, and a lot of it had to do with like sort of their shtick on stage and stuff like that. And then a band like Brand New Unit was just like, oh, these guys are actually like musicians and professional and like polished. Like they were there to put on a good show.
Yeah, I think that's the difference is they felt like they were like a better, like not a better band, but like, just polished band. They just felt like they were something different. And yeah, it made an influence on me at that time. I'm surprised how well they hold up when I go back and listen to their stuff, though. And it's not like, and not even on a nostalgic basis. Like, they're just really good. They're super tight.
Yeah, I'm really glad you picked them. All right, first picks for episode 117. Bands that we saw live and fell in love with. Off their self-titled debut album, it's Kvelertak, and the song is Miad.
Brand New Unit off their No Heroes EP, Have a Nice Life If Yours Sucks. More sound effects for the podcast.
That's right.
I didn't realize they made Neocitrin in a can.
Can of betterment.
All right, Justin.
All right. Moving on to second picks here. Sticking with, you alluded to the time we went to Austin. We were at Fun Fest, which only lasted, I think, a couple years in Austin and kind of faded away. I don't know if it's probably a hard city to put a festival on, given how many bands already come through. But I love the concept of that festival because it was a mix of like the fairgrounds kind of show or like the all day sort of thing where bands were on stages from, kind of 1 or 2 in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night. And then a few different stages. And then there was also the club shows and a whole bunch of, the numerous bars in Austin had different bands on at different times. So it was awesome to see just that mix of different bands and in different types of venues. One of those bands that we saw played in the smallest, dingiest shithole of a bar.
I would call it a hallway.
Yeah, like I couldn't even, I'm sure they served, well, they definitely served beer there. I don't even know if there were like chairs. I feel like there was like,
I feel like it was a hallway.
And, like not even a stage. Like I don't think it was, like it seemed like it was just cobbled together for that night. But it was also after a pretty long day of festivaling. And there was a band that took the stage. I'm going to assume that it was your guidance that took us to
No, it
this
wasn't.
hall. Did we just find it?
No. Somebody in our group wanted to see them.
Oh, okay.
Because I almost picked this band too. Because that was the first time I ever saw them too.
Yeah, first time I'd ever seen this band, and they blew me away. They didn't even need a stage. They didn't need anything. They picked up their instruments and paraded around the bar and put on one of the most energetic shows, which is shocking for a band that had a banjo. Not what you would expect. The band is Larry and His Flask, and man, did these guys put on an awesome show. I did see them a couple years after Austin in Calgary at...
Broken City.
Yeah, it was at Broken City.
It was at Broken City.
And like just as good of a show, like just 5 guys and some bizarro instruments and just a great energetic doesn't even begin to describe how good they are on stage.
That show was fantastic. And in my head, one of them had a jug doing like the like blowing on a jug thing.
Very well could have happened, yeah.
But I don't know if that actually happened or not, or it's just somebody in that hallway did. I swear that bar was a hallway.
Yeah. It was just like a connection between 2 other bars.
I don't know. It was rad though.
Yeah.
Definitely, I would say I know we joke about it. I've seen a lot of bands, and that maybe was one of the coolest shows I've ever been to. Yeah,
and it was like one of those things where you sort of had to be there. It's tough to describe how I don't know. It's like high energy busking. I think it would be like
that's actually a great way to describe it. High energy busking. Traveling hobos.
Yeah. It's like almost like circus-esque. I've listened to everything or almost everything they put out, and this is actually the record or the album I come back to the most, which is By the Lamplight. I think it's the second album that they put out, and it would have come out just around the time that we saw them live. I think it's sort of the right mix of instrumentally diverse with a lot of like, it's definitely like banjo heavy, but like horns in the right places and in a way that doesn't feel like they're trying to be different. They're just trying to be, I think, a little bit more authentic. And then I feel their albums after that sort of went away from that and went a little bit more traditional from a musical standpoint. Mm-hmm. Still good. Like this, and the songwriting is actually really good. Like I find their lyrics are actually, especially in their later albums, get like the lyrics get a little bit sharper and a little bit more well thought out. But this album, their second one, is really, to me, like the epitome of Larry and His Flask.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that too. I'm still blown away that it wasn't you who suggested to go. Who the hell suggested we go there and see this band? We couldn't just fluked out on this.
Gordo?
No. Great pick, Justin. Love this band. Like I said, this would have been on my list. It was a last minute cut, and I'm glad I cut it because I didn't know you were going to put it on. So because I really thought you took us there. So the whole story would have been that you took us to this bar, but
Nope.
I guess no.
It was fate.
All right. So my pick is another kind of party band, much like Larry and His Flask. I would say it's got some party element to it, even though it's with banjos. This is not with banjos. The band is Mean Jeans. I was working at Broken City at the time, DJing that punk rock night, and a bunch of the servers and bartenders who were, I would say, like a few years younger than us. Yeah, within 5 years. So like younger enough that they knew about bands that I didn't know about. And they kept bringing up Mean Jeans and acting like I should know who they were. And I felt like so insecure. I was like, I have no idea who this band is. And I couldn't find much about them. I didn't find their album. And then everyone was like, oh, are you going to go see Mean Jeans on Canada Day at the Republic? And I was like, yeah, totally. I'll be there. And total old man, like Principal Skinner. It's me at the 4-H club or whatever. I was like, okay, I got to go to this. And I think we were all out somewhere. And I convinced Dave to go with me because our friend Lace's band was also playing. And that was and I think maybe Rena was in that band. And Dave was friends with Rena, so I could convince him to come. He hated Mean Jeans. In fact, he told me how much they sucked while they were playing. But I was blown away. They wwere so much fun. They reminded me of going to see Chicks Dig It when we first saw Chicks Dig It. They were so energetic, and they were just having a good time on stage. Like I said, they sounded a lot like Chicks Dig It. If Chicks Dig It sang about drugs, drinking, and partying, and less about humping chicks at the mall. Anyway, since that day, I've been sold on them. I picked up an album right away. If you listen to this podcast over the years, I've brought them up a bunch of times, so I don't really need to go into too much depth on why they rule. But if you like Ramones core or pop punk in the vein of Chicks Dig It or the Riverdales or that sort of thing, I would recommend checking them out. They're a great band. I picked something off their 2009 album called Are You Serious? I was torn between Let's Pogo Before You Go Go, because I remember them playing that song and I was like, that's a hilarious thing, or Party Animal, and I decided to go with Party Animal because I thought it really captured what this band was about. I'm going to assume you're not a huge Mean Jeans fan because I know you don't like Ramones core that much.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's just not the sound that I usually go with, but I can also see how bands like that are so good live because it's like an easy energy to feed the crowd and then feed off.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the lyrics don't have to be serious. Like,
yeah.
And it's like stuff, there's lots of gang vocal stuff or things you can sing along to and jump around to, and yeah. They're great. If you can see them, I don't know if they're still around. They had that album on Fat Records, and then they sort of then they put out that Jingles thing, and then they sort of went away. And then like the singer had his own album, came out a couple years ago. It was rad, and then I just never really hear anything about them.
Yeah, maybe the Jingles were like their shot at like making some money before they turn it in.
Maybe that they were looking for those Wendy's big bucks.
That's right. All right, good picks. All about the great live show and the surprising one of that. For our second picks on episode 117, I went with Larry and His Flask off the album By the Lamplight, and the song I chose was Out of Print.
Mean Jeans, Party Animal off Are You Serious?
Page by page keeps turning when you can't seem to read a single word. The night seems heavy of its yearning for something never spoke but only heard. Tell them it's the season or blame it on the matador. Force it on your auntie or a friend. When it comes right down to it, nothing really seems to fit. You know it all the way down to the end.
All right, we are back into our third picks on bands that we saw live and fell in love with the band. No,
Yeah, that works.
bands that we saw?
Saw live.
Songs? Yeah, okay, that works.
Man, this
Sounded
episode's
really-
full of technical difficulties.
Just human difficulties. Anyways, this is my third pick is a band that I liked the first couple albums, sort of fell off listening to them. You know, it had been 8 or so years since they had put something out, or since I was kind of listening to them a little bit more actively. And then I went and saw them with my brother at the Gateway at Sate, which
Weird venue.
is a weird venue, and one of maybe certainly no more than 3 shows that I've seen there, and even 3 feels like a stretch. Like, I don't remember seeing a lot of shows at Gateway.
I think we've seen like a handful there too. It's, yeah, I don't know why. But I don't think there was a lot there when we were like the bands we would have wanted to see that went there. And then later on, they seemed like there was a lot, but again, not bands we would have wanted to go see.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I think a lot of like more sort of like semi-radio rock bands would play there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like CJ92 bands, like radio rock that weren't big enough to play like the back alley or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe this is one of those bands. I'm not really sure. Anyways, I once saw them and they were good. Like, I liked hearing them play, you know, their like old stuff off their first couple of albums that I liked. And then about 3/4 of the way through their set, they played a song that I had never heard before, and it fucking blew me away. Like, it was so tight. It had like the best breakdown I've ever heard in a song. It's still to this day one of my favorite like breakdowns in a song, or like you know, kind of mid sections of the song. And I can still like I remember listening to them play it and like working through these like really technical sections, and I was just like, oh my god, this band is unbelievably good. And I always knew like Protest the Hero as being like, they're super technical, like tons of stuff and like odd time signatures, really, you know, weird breakdowns, like just not like full on prog rock, but very prog rock inspired. And, you know, I kind of like, it was never lost on me that they were like technically a really good band. But seeing them play this one song in particular, I was like, man, these guys are like next level. So it made me pick up their 4th release, which is where the song is off. That album is called Volition. It came out in 2013 on Razor and Tie Records, who I've never heard anything else from. But I think they're out of Toronto. I think the band is from that area, Toronto, Whitby.
Oh, I didn't even know Protest the Hero was Canadian.
Yeah. I knew they're from Ontario.
Did not know that. I always thought of them as if a Wilhelm Scream played prog rock.
Yeah, what a great way to put it. I think that's totally it. I think their singer's kind of like, you have to like get on board with his voice, and I can see how it could be off-putting to some. But I really like the technicality, especially of this album. I think it's so crisply recorded. I found out that they actually crowdfunded for recording it, and were able to raise like almost $350,000 to record this album from crowdfunding, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's more than I would expect most bands to earn for a record these days. Or I guess it's 2013, but still, that's a lot for that genre.
Yeah, it's a ton of money. So good for them. And their drummer had left just before they recorded it. So the drummer from Lamb of God, Chris Adler, filled in, who's a phenomenal drummer, and it certainly shows on this album. That was the other thing that was amazing about that show, is when they played at the Gateway, I remember them saying that they had just had a new drummer, and maybe there was another musician that had just joined the band, and like this was within their first handful of shows. And I was just like, it's crazy to pick up and just join a band that is so so technical and have so many like odd things happening in songs, like this band. Like I feel like I've listened to them for years and years and years, and I still like, there's no way I could just sit down and play it. Like everything would throw me for a loop. Yeah,
they're not a band I've ever really been into, but a lot of people I know, like, I feel like they're like a musician's band.
Yeah, I could see that. I think there's that, maybe it's almost like Coheed-ish, right? Like there's like a technical aspect that you would sort of have to be able to get behind too.
I see what you're saying here.
Yeah, it's not for this. I mean, if you like Mean Jeans, this is probably not for you.
That's okay. So what song did you end up going with?
The song I went with is called "Mist," and it's a song about Newfoundland, which I feel is also not a topic you hear too many songs written about. But it's
At least not in these genres.
yeah, certainly. It's if it was like Gordon Lightfoot or something like that, certainly. But
Great Big Sea.
yeah,
Are they from there?
I think they're from the island or Nova Scotia. Anyways, these guys are not from Newfoundland, but they actually put together a really nice song about Newfoundland that has one of the best breakdowns I've ever heard.
I'm sure it's not about the Stephen King book, The Mist.
I am positive.
Okay.
They talk about kissing the cod.
Oh. So it's like that.
Maybe doing Screech. Shooting Screech.
Fuck Squatch Mist. That's the first thing that came to my head was Fuck Squatch. That's from a Patton Oswalt skit. Check it out. Well, Justin, since you picked a metal-ish band, I am also going to go with a metal-ish band and lose all our punk rock listeners for one little bit here. But hopefully they stick around and listen to this. This is a band I saw when your band played with them. It was maybe one of the weirdest lineups I can ever remember for a show. The band is 3 Inches of Blood.
Did you describe them as metal-ish?
Yeah, well, they're metal. No, I said your pick was metal-ish.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
No, 3 Inches of Blood is very metal-ish. Or metal, if you will. Anyway, your band played with them, and I believe they opened for you guys.
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane.
I think so.
Yeah, they opened for you guys. This would have been their first tour. I don't even think they had an album at this time. I'm 90% sure there was no album at the time.
Yeah, I think that could be entirely true. I'm pretty sure they played first.
It was at the Underground on like a Tuesday night. It was not a very busy show.
Nope, there's more than 24 people there.
Yeah,
like all of our shows.
The Underground was a pretty interesting venue. I was trying to think of when I was doing this. I was like, do you remember that girl's name that used to book at the Underground? She was really nice. I can't remember her name.
Kathy.
Sure. It wasn't Kathy.
No, it wasn't.
But we'll go with that. Anyway, she was really nice. Anyway, the Underground was a fun little venue, very basement feeling. We'd heard this band, 3 Inches of Blood, was going to play. I believe you and me heard they sounded like Iron Maiden, and we were pretty stoked. I can guarantee Steve was like, I do not want to see these bangers play. So we sat around and watched them. They played like they were playing the Saddle Dome, which is they played like they were playing this giant stadium. There was, I think, 4 or 5 of them at the time, and in this tiny stage. Not only did they rule, but one of them got hit in the head by a swinging guitar and sliced their forehead open.
Yeah.
And they were bleeding everywhere. And we weren't sure if it was part of the show because they were called 3 Inches of Blood. But halfway through the next song, he stopped and was like, I got to go to the hospital and get stitches.
Yeah, I think it was one of the guitar players, kind of did like a,
did the swing.
Not even like a big swing. He just sort of
like the Kiss swing,
like his guitar neck, as the lead singer was headbanging, and he caught him right across the forehead, and like, holy shit, did that guy bleed? Yeah,
there was a lot of blood, but it's like the wrestling thing when your head gets cut open on the forehead. Yeah. Anyway, if you don't know who 3 Inches of Blood are, they play a new wave of British heavy metal, and they sing about orcs and witches and mystical stuff. And if you like Iron Maiden, you should check them out. But I'm assuming if you like Iron Maiden, you've heard of 3 Inches of Blood. Shortly after this show, they sort of blew up and got way bigger. I saw them. The next show I saw them was at the Night Gallery. It was packed, hot, sweaty. I believe they had a flame at some point in there, which again, looking back, was not a bright idea.
This whole thing.
Yeah. No blood. They didn't need it. They just fucking blew up, and they just got bigger and bigger. They've put out a ton of great albums, but I always go back to the first one, which is called Battle Cry Under a Winter Sun. And I just like the recording on it because it's still got like that basement compression recording to it. That's got that, like, some of the first those and new wave of British heavy metal bands had that like very sucked in sound from the compression, and this has it. So it just is it's just rad, and I just go to that one before they got super polished. And the song I picked is Skeletal Onslaught, which is a great name.
Awesome. Love this band. They're so good. I just saw them. It was about this time last year.
Yeah. Still great.
Still great. So good. And I think it was supposed to be just like a handful of shows. It was like 25th anniversary. That
probably tracks.
Yeah, that might make sense. But then I like sort of looked at it not that long ago, and they toured extensively through 2025. They played a ton of stuff in Europe, and I think they're still on the road now. So
yeah, I feel like this is a band that could always play in Europe.
Yeah, yeah, and like they were really big. They were playing some big festivals out there. So
well, I think
awesome.
I think in the metal world they're like super big.
Yeah.
So it's weird to think that they opened for you in this shitty punk rock. Also, Justin's band played like pop punk. It had nothing to do with that. It was very different.
Yeah.
And like some of the members went on to be like in Pride Tiger or maybe before this and then Streets and bands like that too. So there's a good connection of awesome bands with 3 Inches of Blood.
Yeah, they are awesome. Great pick, Mike, and what a great show. That image of that guy just gushing blood is burned in my memory, and just the hilarious irony of there being like 3 inches of blood on the floor of the stage.
Yeah, and again, like at first not knowing if it was part of an act, and then him being like, "No, I got to go to the hospital." Like I think they started the next
they
song
only
and he
played
was
4
like,
songs maybe, and
I got to go to the hospital. Anyway,
great picks. Protest the Hero off the album Volition, and the song is Mist.
3 Inches of Blood, Skeletal Onslaught off Battle Cry Under a Winter Sun.
About a gunshot away, there's a place that I love to be. Tipping bottles with me old car. When the shit's all said and sorted, I plan to settle down and stay. One middle finger to the bad bomb. The first time out over, there's not too much I can recall. I kissed a plastic couch
back with our fourth picks for bands that we saw live and thought were awesome. That seems much easier and concise. I'm going to build on the last band you left off with, which was 3 Inches of Blood. And like I said, I saw them about a year ago. And opening for that band was a bunch of dudes, or a couple dudes, or a few dudes from Calgary who formed a band called Riot City. And they were awesome. They were one of the openers for 3 Inches of Blood. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to Calgary's metal scene, but I know that there's a couple good bands out there, and these guys are definitely one of them. Like super raw, very 80s speed, thrash, heavy metal. What I love about this band is there are so many like 2-part guitar harmonies that I'm fully bought in. Throw in a 2-part guitar harmony and I'm all about it. They're so good. These guys were a ton of fun to see live. They had a good mix of like being fully invested in like being an 80s metal band, but also not taking themselves too seriously, but definitely being committed to being skilled and talented musicians, and they just slayed. They put on such a great show.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I think we've talked about this a couple times. I know so little about the Calgary metal scene, so whenever one pops up, I'm always like, oh, that's cool, and then I'm kind of shocked at how different it is than the punk rock scene, I think. Or like, whereas when we were coming up, they were kind of blended together. I think they're two very separate scenes. And they played. I just stumbled across Riot City one day because I think they were playing a big festival in Europe, and I was like, this is an interesting band. And then I saw it and I'm like, they're from Calgary? That's really weird. Or we had touched on a band called Striker from Edmonton, same sort of thing. Like, I think Strikers was fairly big in that, or not big, but they were bigger in that than I would have thought for a band that's from around here and that I didn't know whatsoever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, sort of that same idea as Striker is like these really awesome, great bands, and you're like, oh, they're from like around here. That's super great. Like,
yeah, like I feel like the metal bands that when we were coming up that weren't part of the punk rock scene played like they were still trying to sound like Guns N' Roses and stuff like that, and like so they weren't part of any sort of scene that we were part of.
Yeah, and not even like crossoverable.
Yeah, like there were older dudes that were
the
kind of older dudes that would have a podcast talking about the good old days.
Exactly.
Anyway, right? I haven't actually seen Riot City live. I would like to see them live. They don't even play here very much, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it seemed like they they happened to be, and they were a great match for 3 Inches of Blood. Like just that similar like falsetto lyrics. The lead singer is fucking like, man, that guy's got pipes, and yeah, just love the guitars, drummer slays, like all of it. It was such a great show. So cool. they do make the fairly regular rotation on my playlist.
Nice. And what song and album did you go with?
I went with their newest album, which I think came out in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Burn the Night, and I went with the song Livin' Fast because it's better than Livin' Slow.
The band I picked is an interesting band because originally I wanted to pick Buck-09 for this spot. Which would have really not worked with Riot City. It would have been like 5-spot playing with 3 Inches of Blood. Because there was this show when we were in high school that Face to Face played in town. And it was one of those shows back in the day where like 5 or 6 bands would come and play. We received a tape from Buck-09 who had not come out yet. And there was 3 songs on it. And after that show, that kind of tape became kind of like legendary within our group of friends about how good it was and how great they were. Also, sidebar, I think you guys you also played with Buck-09 at some point.
We did, yeah.
But the more I thought about it, Buck-09 didn't play that show. So in my head, always Buck-09 is from that show, but I didn't see Buck-09 until you guys played with them. So I thought about that show more, and there was a band that I saw at it that I fell in love with, and that band was Automatic 7. Automatic 7 were, they sounded kind of like Face to Face, but if Face to Face listened to more Jawbreaker. And I just remember seeing them and I'm like, oh, these guys are really cool. Much like the Brand New Unit thing, I was like, these guys are really good musicians and they've got like a lot more melody to them than like Face to Face, or I believe the Bouncing Souls also played that show. And I ended up buying a t-shirt because I was like, oh, I'll be able to find their CD later on. And I wore that T-shirt for a very long time as well.
I remember that shirt.
Yeah, it was a great shirt. But I could never find an Automatic 7 CD. Like, legitimately, I don't own an Automatic 7 CD. I couldn't find it. I mean, it'd be easy to find now online and whatnot. But at that time, it was like, even when I worked at the record store, it was a hard one to order in. So it was expensive. So I just never got it. What I did find was I had a lot of Automatic 7 tracks on compilations. So they must have done the compilation circuit. And they did make their way onto a lot of mixtapes of mine. And once I did have access to downloading MP3s, I really got into them a lot. But I decided to go with a song off one of the comps because I figured that was more relevant to what I discovered at the time. So I was torn between, they do a really good cover of, I believe it's Pretty in Pink. They do Pretty in Pink for one of those Before You Were Punk comps.
Okay.
And I almost went with it. And then, ironically, one of their songs came on my shuffle this morning, and I decided to do an audible. And it's their song called Broken Record, and it's off a Vagrant comp. And I can't remember which Vagrant comp it is, but I believe is the first. It's like 5 years off the street or something like that, maybe, or 5 years on the street. When I post the list, I will have the actual album title. But I just always love this song. Like I've said, if it's still playing on my phone right now, that shows you how much I really like it. I don't think Automatic 7's around anymore. I haven't heard anything about this band in years. They've never come through again.
I think there's a weird part where we've talked about how my brain mixes up bands that sound sort of similar.
Mm-hmm.
And not how that the band sounds the same, but their name sounds the same, like H2O and Hot Water Music.
Yep.
And for some reason, I've had Automatica and Automatic 7 like mixed up, and again, they don't sound anything close to similar.
No, not at all.
No, it's not even close. But I definitely remember your Automatic 7 shirt.
There you go. They're really good. If you like, only two of their albums are on Apple Music anyway. I don't know about Spotify, but on Apple Music, only two of the albums are on it, and I think they have 3 or 4. So
it's crazy that sort of that idea of like the comp circuit and just like how important that was for bands that were like touring but not headlining and just being able to get on bills wherever, and how important like being on a comp probably was for getting them known and heard.
Yeah, like I think because they were on BYO. They were on Vagrant as well. They might have toured quite a bit in the States, but not up here. But that show is legendary. Like, it was really good.
Mm-hmm. I was not there.
Yeah. Well, you hate Bouncing Souls, so
yep,
you would have not liked it. And Buck 09 may or may not have played, but we definitely got a tape from Buck 09 that changed the kind of music I was listening to at the time for a bit.
Yeah, that tape made summer. It still does.
3-song EP.
Yeah. All right. We've maybe. I'm glad you're bringing it back. We certainly lost the punk rock part of the High Fives punk rock podcast for a little bit there, with a whole bunch of heavy metal. I went with Riot City off the album Burn the Night and the song Livin' Fast.
Automatic 7 off the Vagrant comp, and the song is Broken Record.
Turn up the speed, the heat is rising.
Thank you to everyone that listens to us. Anyone that sent us an email, a message, slid into our DMs, bought our nudes. You really make doing this a lot of fun. It's always great to interact with you. Thank you to the WhatsApp group. You know why you guys rule. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, get in touch with us. Justin promises not to hurt your feelings in there.
It's a safe space. No shortage of hot takes.
But it's always fun, and everyone is actually really nice in there. Feel free to join if you want to talk about music. If you're listening on streaming services, can you like or subscribe? You can leave a comment or review. Or, as we always mention, I'd rather you just tell your friend to listen to this episode or any of our episodes. I know Justin's telling everybody at his work to listen. He can't wait for his boss to check us out. I do have a couple housekeeping notes. We now have a Substack. What Substack, you say? I don't really know. But we have one, and I'm trying to make it work as almost like a web page for our site since we no longer have a web page. I'm going to post the lists and notes from our shows there. So if you're sick of the other social media feeds, this one sort of puts it all together, and I believe it'll send you an email when something gets updated there, or you can just check it. Hopefully you'll be able to go back and check the lists a lot easier, and it'll be a little bit more organized than the Instagram. I might even try to do some things like putting playlists or whatever. I haven't really figured it out. Still playing around with it. We'll still be using Instagram as much as we do, even though I hate posting stuff on there. But I'm also trying to slowly migrate to Upscrolled. It's supposed to be less evil, but probably like all apps at some point, it is evil and horrible. So it is the holiday season. So if you're interested in buying a t-shirt, we'll have our t-shirt store up again. If you feel like buying something, it might help offset the cost of hosting. So up the capitalism, hey? But don't feel obligated. It doesn't really matter this is more about just having fun and talking music for me. I assume Justin too, because why else would he do it? He's not getting any money.
I'm just here for the free t-shirts.
He doesn't even like me that much, and there is no free t-shirts.
I'll see myself out.
Yep. He's just here to drink a non-alcoholic beverage.
This is I wouldn't say a very alcoholic beverage, but an alcoholic one.
Oh, okay.
It's Monday night, Mike. Come on.
Fair enough. So yeah, all that. You can find us on Instagram at High Fives Podcast, on Upscrolled at High Fives Punk Rock, on Substack at High Fives Punk Rock Podcast. You know, it would be easy if I used the
We're
same thing.
We're also on ICQ, and that's GeoCities /
I'm working on that Angel Fire page.
Yeah. Poke us on MySpace.
I think that's it. Thank you again for listening. We really do appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me, Justin, and doing this.
Yeah, Mike, it's been a great year.
Yeah,
we've had some really great episodes. We've had some other episodes.
We've done some things.
It's been good. It's been really good. Looking forward to your year-end lists and getting this going and then getting it going again in the new year.
For sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're going to be joining me for the year-end episode. I haven't even figured out what I'm going to do for the year-end episode, but you're off the hook.
Liked when you had other people contribute, like a little audio clip and a recommendation.
Yeah, I might do that again. We'll see. That's more of a if I have enough time.
Yeah, I can see that also being a pain to edit. So
it's more of just a pain to organize, but I like doing that too. So if you're interested in doing that, maybe give me a shout if you want to come and give me a little blurb real quick. Not you, Justin. You can't do it. You're not allowed. Anybody else that's listening? Yeah, let's get to our last picks, I think.
There's no one else listening.
Okay, it's just you and me. I think that's it. Last picks?
Awesome. Yeah, last picks.
I got some Beverly Hills 90210 to watch.
Yeah, that's right. We'll let you get back to...
Dylan. Who knows what's going on with Dylan? Dylan's cheating with Kelly right now. Dylan's cheating with Kelly. Well, Brenda's in Paris. It's lots going on, man.
I'm sure. Episode 117, bands we saw live and fell in love with. I'm going to round this one out with a punk rock band. I saw these guys for the first time in 1997. No, it must have been 1998.
Thanks for the clarity.
Yep, that tracks. I was trying to think because for some reason in 1998 at the age of 17, my parents allowed me to fly to Vancouver with our buddy Dave and Nate's little brother, by ourselves with no parents, to go to the Vans Warped Tour that was playing in Vancouver at the PNE. How we got from the airport to the PNE was an interesting tale. It involved walking down East Hastings Street, which none of us knew as being the worst street in Canada. And we walked down the entire thing at 8 o'clock in the morning, just like 4 kids, totally clueless.
Hold on, Nate's brother was there? Nate's brother's like substantially younger than us. Was he,
12 or 13 at the time. Yeah.
responsible?
Yeah. Like none of us were old enough to get a hotel room because they had to be 19 because it was BC. We had no place to stay. This was like, this is all in all just not a...
Sounds like it was planned by a bunch of 16-year-olds.
Yeah. But we got to go see the Warped Tour, which, as you can imagine, in 1998 had virtually every band you would ever want to see playing, from Strung Out to Bad Religion to the Pie Tasters to
Eminem.
This was not the Eminem year.
Oh,
that was the next year.
No Doubt.
No Doubt could have been there. I don't know. I just remember basically bouncing from stage to stage. Like it was full on entertainment the entire day long. And one of the bands that I saw was a band that I hadn't, I knew of because they're very well known, but had never really given a good listen to. And we saw them. They were towards the end of this end of the day, sort of one of the close to the closers, and they put on a fantastic show. And I'd listened to them and always sort of knew them as being like sort of a little bit comedic, but they were really entertaining on stage. So that certainly didn't disappoint. What did impress me is just how super talented and tight they were, particularly the guitarist and of course the drummer, who turns out to be one of the most well-known studio musicians, as well as just a very odd character with a really funny, I don't know, was it like a voicemail or something that he did?
On that one.
Yeah, like the Josh. I'm talking about Josh Freese and the Vandals. Josh Freese seems like just a weird fucking guy.
Yeah, he is. Have you ever listened to his solo album? It was really good, but weird.
He has. The Vandals is sort of like his full-time band, but then he also plays drums in like Guns N' Roses and Nine Inch Nails, and didn't he just get kicked out of the Foo Fighters? And
it went back to Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah,
from the Foo Fighters,
it's crazy. Like he has played with like some of the biggest bands in the world. He's a phenomenal drummer. Warren's an amazing guitar player, and they put on such a great show. Warren was like climbing up on amps and speakers. I remember them playing "So Long Farewell" from The Sound of Music to end their set. They had like so much energy, and they played one of the funnier songs I've heard, certainly at the time as a 17-year-old, that they...
That's the caveat, I guess.
Yeah, because I'm going to say it now, and they're like, well, obviously it's a stupid song. But it was about the Yarmar Yager hockey hair. The song is I've Got an Ape Drape, and I just remember them. This was the one, like, speaking of GeoCities, do you remember there was like the mullet website?
Oh, fuck, man. I would have totally forgot
I can't
about
remember
it.
what the website was called, but it was literally just like photo after photo after photo of mullets, and it was like the best thing to happen. Like that was one of the like...
Somebody's got to get their Instagram going.
That would be so good, except mullets are weirdly popular now.
Yes, they are.
But yeah, I remember them describing it and then playing the songs that would have just come out on this album, and I thought it was the funniest shit ever. Euro Hair. This album also has classics like Eurobarge, which was on the Tony Hawk soundtrack, and My Girlfriend's Dead, which is an all-timer.
The Vandals are funny because I always think, I'm always like, I don't like the Vandals, and then I'll listen to an album and I'm like, they're so funny, but they are like, because they're good musicians, it doesn't sound like a joke band.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It's a weird line that they sort of straddle.
Also, in the spirit of the holiday, their Christmas album is phenomenal. That's Christmas time for your penis, Justin. Great pick. Love this song. I sing this song a lot in my head every time I see a mullet. Some of the terms they have are awesome too. Because like in my head, a mullet is hockey hair and a mullet. But then there was a bunch in there.
Yeah.
Like ape drape, Euro hair. I don't know what's going on in Riverside. Maybe somebody from California can explain. Is Riverside very mullety?
I think it was like the trash part.
The trash
of
part?
Of California, yeah. Or of LA, anyways. That's where, what was the mom in the OC? Jimmy Cooper's wife?
Julie? Don't pretend like you didn't know. I know you like the OC.
I'm not denying it. I just couldn't remember her name.
Is Julie's from Riverside?
No, it wasn't Julie. No, Julie was Seth's mom, wasn't it?
No. That's Kirsten.
Yeah, okay, then it was Julie. Yeah.
You're not going to school me on OC.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, because Jimmy's just like, he said something cutting like, if you keep this up, I'm going to tell your friends you're from Riverside.
Yeah. Sounds like a great title for a song. Okay, well, after talking about not playing enough punk rock, I'm going to shift away from punk rock a little bit, but not too far away. The band I picked is the Weakerthans. I think I've told the story before. It's probably blasphemy to be Canadian and listen to punk rock and admit this, but I couldn't stand the Weakerthans when they came out. Just didn't understand it. I thought it was boring and quiet, and I just couldn't understand why someone would leave propaganda to play folk hipster music, is what I would refer to it at the time. And then there was this girl I was kind of into that dragged me to a show at the Multi, and it blew me away. Everything about that show was so good. It just melted me, like, watching them. I would say it was a life-altering show, like, because I would have never listened to any of that kind of music. And then I saw that show and I got immediately into a whole genre of music I would have never, ever checked out. It was just a perfect thing. And it was just at the Multicultural Center, which is like a community center for people that are not from Calgary, with not great sound, but they were so good. It's just one of those shows that's imprinted in me. A moment of young crush, nostalgia, and everything, just a perfect storm of music for me. If you listen to this podcast, I'm sure you've heard the Weakerthans. If not, go get acquainted with them, and I'm not sure where you've been. If you don't like the Weakerthans, this isn't going to change your mind, but everything that they put out is just stuck with me. But Left and Leaving is my go-to album whenever I need to feel like feeling something. It gets me through a lot of stuff. It's got me through dark times, through breakups, through new loves, all sorts of things. John K. Sampson's lyrics just always hit the spot and know how to make you feel something. And I thought it was a good way to end this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything to say about the Weakerthans. We've talked about them a lot
We
on
have,
the show.
but it's always a great pick, and there's such, he is such a phenomenal songwriter, and to me, it's his ability to capture, like, seemingly meaningless moments and make them, so...
poignant?
Yeah, and introspectively important.
The album I picked again was Left and Leaving, and the song is The song is Pamphleteer.
Amazing. What a great way to end it. Take it away.
No, you take it away.
No, don't you normally say, like, the goodbyes?
No, you say the song, then I say my song,
Okay.
then I say thanks for listening.
All right, we'll get that right in episode 118.
Nah. We could always change it around. I could say goodbye, but then it'll be weird.
I'm the host now.
You are, I guess, yeah.
Stay cool and...
Don't screw it up.
All right. Final picks for episode 117. Probably a good reminder for everyone to go check out some live music. It's hypocritical for me to say it because I don't always get a chance to go see bands when they come through. I always do try to be better about it. I think especially now with bands that are putting themselves out on the road, it's probably their number one source of income, and it's a tough way to make money. We all know streaming isn't paying for shit, so go see a band, buy a t-shirt, and you might discover a great band like we did on this episode.
Justin, that's a perfect way to end this. Great job.
I know.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm literally the shittiest person because I bail on going to see shows all the time. But I agree with Justin. You 100%. If there's anything that you took from this episode, is go check out some bands, support them. Because yeah, you're right. There's the only way they're getting on the road is and putting out music is by touring, and then you go support them. So good job, Justin.
I went with the Vandals off the album Hitler Bad, Vandals Good. We forgot to talk about how great that title is. I went with the song I've Got an Ape Drape.
The Weakerthans off Left and Leaving, Pamphleteer. Stay cool and be excellent to each other, and we'll see you in the new year.
Even if it's really, really bad, I've got an ape drape. drive to Riverside and get one too, and then you'll have a name drink like I do. Big sword in front and long and back. 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 I've got an A-train, yes I do. They're giving them to anyone, and that means you. You can drive to Riverside and get one too, and then you'll have an A-train like I do. If the tops are short enough that it stands up, I could be thrown out of the Bedouin Club. But don't you lay a finger on my ponytail. Now fix my kiss so he looks just like me. Some matching crazy pants are all we need. Some may call it child abuse, I just call it bonding with your dad. I've got an A-train, yes I do. They're giving them to anyone, and that means you. You can drive to Riverside and get one too, and then you'll have an A-train like I do. I got a Norco neck warmer, yes I do. They're giving them to anyone, and that means you. You can drive to Norco and get one too. You'll have a Norco neck warmer like I do. I've got hockey hair, yes I do. They're giving them to anyone, and that means you. You can drive to Canada and get one too, and then you'll have hockey hair like I do. I've got achy breaky hair, yes I do. They're giving them to anyone, and that means you. You can drive to Nashville and get one too. You'll have achy breaky hair like I do. I've got a mullet, yes I do. They're giving them to anyone, and that means you. You can drive to Hoboken and get one too, and then you'll have a mullet like I do. I've got forbidden hair, yes I do. They're giving them to anyone, and that means you. You can drive to Europe and get one too, and then you'll have forbidden hair like I do. I've got a sham, yes I do. They're giving them to anyone, and that means you. You can drive to Florida and get one too, and then you'll have a sham like I do. You can have Josh Freeze hair like I do. I'm standing on this corner, can't get their attention. Facing rush hour, faces turned around. I clutch my stack of paper, press one to a chest, then watch it swoop, stutter to the ground. I'm weary with right angles, abbreviated daylight, waiting for a winter to be done. Why do I still see you in every mirrored window, in all that I could never overcome? How I don't know what I should do with my hands when I talk to you. How you don't know where you should look, so you look at my hands. How movements rise and then dissolve, melted by our shallow breath. How causes dance away from